reading levels are continuing to go down. Now, throughout history, the majority of the population was illiterate. In today's society, we have schools, so we think, oh, everybody can read and write. It's not really true. In America, for example, phonics, which was taught in all schools, was taken out of the schools and replaced with a method called the look-see method. And this makes sure that kids can't really read. So reading is diminishing over time. It's going down, 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 down. So we learn this information within the societies primarily from reading. And reading is something that is really overlooked. But knowledge that comes through reading is quite different than through any other method. Leaders are always readers. If you look at the leaders of countries around the world, if you look at the billionaires around the world, if you look at the captains of industry around the world, they always are massive readers. They read all the time. Now think about that. I mentioned to you that I learned this information, and information is shared within societies primarily through reading. So when you see somebody who is a ferocious reader, ask yourself, I wonder if he's a society member, because that's one of the things that we're taught. And that's one of the things that we're trained to do very early on, is to read and gather information through reading. So reading is really important of how we get this information. The societies, as I mentioned, are kind of common knowledge, but it's really what goes on inside the societies that have always been kept a secret. Hey, I'm Senator John Kerry, and I'm a member of Skull and Bones. Okay, what goes on? Well, I can't tell you, it's a secret. I'm a 33-degree member of the Freemasons. I'll let you know that. That's okay. Benjamin Franklin was a member of the Freemasons, a 33-degree member. Throughout history, our leaders were 33-degree members. They were proud of that membership. They used to wear their Masonic garb in public. They were proud of membership. But when you ask them what went on inside, what did you learn? That's when it stopped. That's when, no. I'll let you know that I'm a member, but not what I learned as a member. So we're coming forward, not just myself, but the friends that I brought along with me. We are now sharing with you this information. So I mentioned, how is this information taught to us? A little bit in lecture or workshop or seminar, primarily through reading. And the third method in which this information is shared is via one another, one-on-one communication with other people. Information is shared between one participant or one member to another member. Many of this is done one-on-one. So there's a lines of communication, just like it has been done throughout history, where information has been passed down verbally. And in many cases, information is passed down verbally verbatim, although most of it is backed up in written form. But it is passed down verbally verbatim, which is really interesting. You start sitting down with somebody over a cup of coffee, and a lot of these society meetings aren't so secret. You know, in recent times, it's very common for us to sit down at a coffee shop and have a cup of coffee and be sharing things. And if you recorded that 20-minute conversation, the information that went back and forth may go over the heads of 90% of the people, but the information between the society members, because we know what we're talking about, it's not in code, but we know what we're talking about, resonates perfectly, and we get so much information that we can use in our real lives. So first is by some workshop lecture. Secondly, mostly by reading. Thirdly, by one-on-one. And the last method of learning is something that we don't do today very often, or we don't even use the words very often, although Donald Trump brought it out. with his TV show, The Apprentice. How many times have you heard apprentice in today's society? What are you doing? Well, I'm an apprentice. How many people say I'm an apprentice? That's how we learned everything throughout history. You got an apprenticeship. You wanted to be a plumber, you became an apprentice. You found a master plumber, you became his apprentice, and you learned from that master plumber. Go back and look at martial arts. Go look at the Star Wars. You know, you had the Jedi Knight. The master Jedi Knight always had an apprentice, and it was a one-on-one training. Sometimes we call him, he's my mentor. Well, this is the fourth method in which the societies share information through a virtual apprenticeship program. And it's something that we just do not do today outside the societies in the general population. But when you're in the society, you actually get a mentor and you become an apprentice. And you learn directly from one person. That's how you're trained. And the training is a lifelong experience. You always have a mentor. Even when you are a mentor and you have an apprentice, you still always are an apprentice. Now, with that in mind, I want to talk about the first most important thing that we're taught based on this concept of how to learn. How did we learn this information, whether it's in the Masons, whether it's in the Brotherhood, or the Illuminati, whether it's in the Skull and Bones, or any of the other hundreds of secret societies? How did we learn this information? First, we're taught that we have to be teachable. We have to be coachable. This is the first thing that we're trained. And actually, before you are even let in as a member, sometimes it can take years before you are allowed in as a member. Now, some groups, like the Masons, you're allowed in very early, but you don't learn anything really until you get way up to the top. So even though you're in, you're not getting anything. You're just kind of going through almost the interview process, because if you join the Freemasons, very few people reach the 33-degree level. That's because they don't qualify. And what's the qualification of being a member of the Brotherhood or a member of these and getting to the highest levels and learning all the information? This is the key, by the way, because there are many people that are members, but very few reach the highest levels. What is the number one, the first and foremost qualification? And that is, are you teachable? Because if you're not teachable, if you're not coachable, you then disqualify yourself. So the first thing we're taught is, not are we great teachers, not are we great people, not are we so smart, but actually, do we know how dumb we are? Do we know how much we don't know? Do we know that I don't know what I don't know? Think about that statement. Ask yourself, are you sitting there going, I don't know what I don't know. I know nothing. And I'm going to listen to everything, and I'm not going to challenge it by disagreeing. And I'm also not going to blindly follow it. I'm going to believe what you're saying must be true, but I am going to question it until I understand why it's true. You must be teachable. First, most important thing today and tomorrow and throughout your life, understand this concept. If you get nothing else from today and tomorrow but this one concept I'm going to teach you right now, you will be better off, happier, more successful. You will achieve greater things faster than you could ever dream possible by learning this one simple concept. And that is, you must be teachable. You must be coachable. How do you determine that? There's an index. there's a teachability index, which will determine how teachable you are. And you must, I'll tell you, you must consider this all the time. You can't learn this concept right now and say, I got it. No, you're never going to get it. You're always getting it. Do you understand that? You're always getting it. How teachable are you? How coachable are you? So what's your teachability index? There are two variables when it comes to your teachability index. The first variable is, what is your willingness to learn? On a scale of 1 to 10, if you're listening to this on CD, ask yourself, on a scale of 1 to 10, how high is your willingness to learn this information? Now, this teachability index is applied in life or any particular study. Let's say you want to learn a foreign language. You have to ask yourself, if you're going to succeed in learning a foreign language, you must be teachable. You must have a high teachability index, otherwise you're wasting your time. If you want to learn this information today and tomorrow, and all the other information that we'll provide to you, you must be teachable. That's why some people in the societies may have a high teachability index in the beginning, but later on they know everything. They stop becoming teachable. I've had apprentices who have stopped being teachable. And they've, I have one guy, for example, he maxed out his income, which is what you can quantify. His income was about $1 million a year, and he stopped being teachable. He was still my apprentice, but I stopped teaching him because I'm waiting for him to become teachable again. Nothing more to teach, nothing more to give, because it's going in one ear and out the other. So you wait, and you go back to teachability index. So on a scale of 1 to 10, what's your willingness to learn this information? Again, if this was a language course, I'd say, what's your willingness to learn this language? So the question is, your wish is your command, how to manifest your desires, which we're teaching today, and tomorrow, how anyone can make millions, the money-making secrets they don't want you to know about. What is your willingness to learn this information on a scale of 1 to 10? Now, obviously, the people here in the room, you spent $10,000, traveled, some of you, halfway around the world, had no idea who you were meeting, where you were going. You were blindfolded, of course, but this was just complete faith. And now you're blown away. I know you're doing backflips already from what you've seen, and we haven't even started. So I know most of you here in the room probably have a high willingness to learn because you've shown it. Those who are listening on the CD, you didn't invest that much money. Some of you won't.
So good. Such great information. Wow, wow, wow. Well, what's up, familia? Grand Rising and happy Tuesday. I hope everybody is having a phenomenal day this morning. I hope everybody's feeling good, feeling aligned, feeling connected, because I know I definitely am. I'm feeling so good to be here on this call with all of you guys. I hope all of you guys are having a blessed morning. I'm feeling good this morning, feeling even better, and looking forward to just another great week. I know it's Thanksgiving week and everybody's excited to spend time with family. Everybody's excited to travel. If you're traveling, safe travels wherever you guys are going. And it's always a pleasure to jump on these calls. And, even, as I sit here sometimes and drink my coffee and just listen to the audios that we listen to before the calls, I want you guys to know the audios that I play before these calls are, things that you can't find everywhere. Yes, we are doing mornings with Ed on Thanksgiving, but these are things you can't find everywhere, guys. This is really, something that, I want you guys to take advantage of. Like this is amazing information. This is not just information, like you just heard. The people that went to listen to that event that I just played for you guys for free, they paid $10,000 to go to that. You guys just got it for free on this call. I mean, obviously you only get like 10 minutes of it because I play it for like 10, 15 minutes before the call. But, people are paying tens and thousands of dollars for that information that I play for you guys for free. And in reality, I don't think I'm supposed to. To be completely honest for you guys, I don't really think I'm supposed to. I honestly think I'd get in trouble. But I think because it's your wish is your command and it's a public one already. But yo, take advantage of this stuff. There's really good information. He was talking about, your teachability index and the importance behind it, your willingness to learn, but everybody here does have a high willingness to learn, and that's the key. After high willingness to learn comes the willingness to accept change, and that's the game changer right there. I know all of you guys, and I'm gonna just talk about this really quick. It has nothing to do with what we're gonna talk about today, but it kind of does in a way too as well, because we're gonna talk about today. Don't leave crumbs. But if you think about it, if you jump on mornings with Nano, you have a high willingness to learn. Okay, if you jump on mornings with Nano, okay, Monday through Friday, let's say, or at least 3 or 4 times a week, you have a high willingness to learn. If you're doing your morning routine, you're reading your books, you're listening to audios every day, you have a high willingness to learn. But that's not enough to get you to where you want to go to. Okay. A high willingness to learn is not enough. You need a high willingness to learn, and you need a high willingness to accept change. Okay. Which means that you're willing to apply what you've learned. So, for example, this is how you know if you have a good teachability index. One thing I always tell you guys to do is do your morning routine. Okay, so let's say, for example, somebody jumps on this call for the very first time, and they jump on this call and they hear about me talking about a morning routine, and I break it down and I really, really help them with that. If that person goes from being somebody that was waking up at 8 9 a.m., no morning routine, no nothing, and now that person goes from waking up at 9 a.m. to waking up at 6 a.m. and doing a full morning routine before mornings with Nano, that person has a high willingness to accept change. Okay, because they took what they learned and they applied it. All right, yesterday, what did we talk about? We talk about when you're in your car on your way to work, on your way and from work, do you listen to audios or are you listening to music? Well, if yesterday you were in a car on your way to work or on your way from work, and you chose to listen to music instead of listening to an audio, you have a low willingness to accept change. Because if you chose music instead of the audio after you learned on the call, like, yo, listen to audios, listen to successful people speak when you're in cars, but instead you went with your comfort zone, which is, I usually listen to my music and nobody's going to tell me otherwise, you have a low teachability index. Okay, that's a low teachability index because you weren't willing to accept the change. Now, if you were somebody that was like, man, Nano told me I need to be listening to audios all day while I'm in my car, while I'm in the shower, while I'm going to sleep, and you did that, you have a high willingness to accept change. So you got to understand that that's the difference right there. This is so, so key for all of us to want to make a difference in our lives. The reason that I've been able to accomplish a lot of the success, okay, the reason why I've been able to accomplish a lot of the success that I have today is because of my high teachability index. I learned something, but then I'm also willing to accept the change that comes with it immediately. And that is super, super key. Okay, guys. So I just wanted to say that real quick moment, real quick, because I know that, it was something that we were listening to. But let's get into our call today. Let's express some gratitude before we get into the call. What is one thing you guys are grateful for on this beautiful Tuesday morning, November 22nd, 2022, 11/22/22? What a beautiful number. What a beautiful combination. I am grateful for God. I am grateful for my health. I'm grateful for my mind, my body, and my spirit. I'm grateful for my strong immune system that doesn't allow any diseases in my body. I'm so grateful for the sun. I'm so grateful for my family, my mom, my dad, my little brother, my goddaughters. I have goddaughters now, Dadiana and Avaya. I'm extremely grateful for um, my team and all the leaders within my organization, Leadership Dynasty, Leadership Academy. I'm grateful for the coffee this morning. I'm grateful for Katie and everything that she does for me. I'm grateful for my team. I'm grateful for Mornings with Nano. I'm grateful for the community that we've been able to build. I'm grateful for roof over my head, the food we get to eat on a day basis. I'm extremely, extremely grateful for all that is happening in my life each and every single day, guys. So let's get into today's call. Hope everybody is ready. Type a 333 in the chat box if you are ready to listen to today's lesson, guys. 333s. You are ready for today's lesson. 333s. Okay, perfect. So today at the top of your paper, I want you to write don't leave crumbs. That is today's topic for today. Do not leave any crumbs. Now, when you think of and I want to see what your perspective is. Like before I go into the lesson today, when I tell you guys don't leave crumbs, what comes to your mind? Okay, I want to see some of your comments. What comes to your mind when I tell you, yo, don't leave no crumbs behind? All right. What do you guys think I'm trying to, impress into you guys? Okay. Let's see. Eat all your food, go hard, no regrets. Finish the task you start. Yeah, CJ convey. That was the word I was looking for. I'm glad you caught it. Do all the work, no fear, no half stepping, no shortcuts. Take what's yours. Anything unfinished, belief, don't settle for less. Don't leave a mess behind and absorb everything. The first thing is food. Second is always do your best. I love that, Lorraine. Persistence, no skipping steps, no resources. Don't leave anything on the table. Don't miss to take action on anything you learn. Pay attention to the details. Yes, I like that. Pay attention to the details. No rest, no worry, like the play. Okay. So we all have a pretty good idea of what I mean by don't leave the crumbs. And every answer that you guys said was right. Okay. It all makes sense, right? Eat all your food, finish what you started, go and get everything that you came for, absorb all the information, leave no room for mishaps, leave no stone unturned. I love that. I love that. I love that one as well. Go all in. So I was listening to this audio and this training by this specific individual, and he talked about this. And he talked about don't leave crumbs, don't leave no crumbs behind. And the reason for that is it was at a perfect time and at a perfect place for us to hear that. Okay. Because guess what? We're wrapping up, the last, maybe 5, 6 weeks of the year. And we are in a position where we got to finish what we started this year. Okay. That's the position that we are all in right now. We must finish what we have started this year. Now, remember, most of us, we made New Year's resolutions back in January at the beginning of 2022. We said we wanted to do certain things this year. We said we wanted to become certain people this year. We said that we were going to be more consistent with certain things this year, whether that was the gym, whether that was the business, whether we said we were going to hit a certain rank, get to a certain amount of money, whatever it was. There were goals that we set at the beginning of the year that potentially we have not finished. And the reason why the don't leave crumbs behind, this saying that we're talking about right now is that you got to go out there and finish what we started. Okay. There are some of us on this call that have not finished what we started back at the beginning of 2022. And we have about 6 weeks left before the end of the year. So, what are you going to do these next 6 weeks in order for you to make sure that you don't leave any crumbs behind? Because what you don't want to do is you don't want to take goals from 2022 into 2023. You don't want to take New Year's resolutions that you started at the beginning of 2022 and then start them again in 2023. That's not what you want to do. So, what am I saying? I'm saying is that you want to make sure that these next 6 weeks are filled with nothing but intention. Okay, they're filled with nothing but hard work, nothing but extreme hard work, not just half work, not just, oh, I'll do something here, I'll do something there. Like, you got to find every single way to make sure that you do not leave any crumbs behind. And I'm going to teach you guys exactly how to do that through this training. Okay. So, how do we do not leave any crumbs behind? Let's start with number one. Okay. Number one, how do we do not leave any crumbs behind? Number one, we must first identify, okay, what's on our plate. Write this down. We must first identify what's on our plate. This is so key, right? Before I can finish this plate, I got to identify what's on the plate, right? So if I were to give you a plate of food right now, and I would be like, okay, I want you to finish this. All right. Let's see how much we have to work with. Okay. You may have a lobster, you may have steak, you may have some pasta, you may have a whole pie of pizza. Okay. But the first thing we must do is you must identify what's on your plate. Okay. So for a lot of you, ask yourself, what's on my plate right now for the end of the year that I got to finish? I know a lot of you guys have things on your plates right now that you still have not yet finished going into 2022. Sorry, going into 2023. So identify what's on your plate. Maybe, you need to get back to going to the gym. You had a certain goal. Maybe you wanted to lose a certain amount of weight by the end of the year. Well, that's still on your plate. Maybe you had a certain rank that you wanted to hit by the end of the year and you're still a certain amount of people away. Guess what? That's still on your plate. Maybe there was a certain amount of money that you wanted to raise by the end of the year, or a certain amount of money you wanted to make by the end of the year. Okay. And you still haven't got there. You still are missing some money to get there. Well, that's still on your plate. A lot of this stuff is still on your plate. So you must identify what is still on your plate from the things that you set out to accomplish this year. Okay. And I'm sorry if it's cutting out. I see a few people said it was cutting out, but it's good on my side. The Wi-Fi is pretty good. I paid for really good Wi-Fi. So I hope that that's working. John, my brother, what's good, OG? So it's important that we all understand what is on our plate. Some of us may have more, some of us may have less, some of us may, we're almost done. Okay. Some of you, listen, I don't know about you guys, but I do this sometimes. Anybody, when they eat, when you're in the middle of eating, sometimes you take a break and you're like, okay, let me let the food go down a little bit. I'm getting full. And then you wait a little bit before you go in again. Anybody do that? Type of one in the chat box if you do that when you eat, where you're like, oh, man, man, I'm getting full already. Let me chill for a little bit and then I'll go in again. Right? I do that. And look, I get it. Some of you may be in that, some of you may be in that phase right now. I do, but I shouldn't. Right? Some of us may be in that phase right now where, okay, maybe you had to take a break before you finished your plate. You're like, you know what, Nano? Man, I've been eating. I haven't put, you're in that moment where you've just been grinding. You've been eating. And now you're like, okay, let me take a little break so I can finish this last bit. Some of you may be there. Okay. Some of you may be in that point where, hey, you had to take a few days. You had to take a few days, maybe a week to get yourself back ready. And now you're ready to go finish the year strong. Okay. And that's okay. All right. That's okay. Patricia's like, nah, not the break. Not when Thanksgiving is coming. Yeah, you took the wrong time to take the break, right? Because Thanksgiving is coming and there's a lot of food about to be eaten, right? But what I want you all to understand is that you got to understand what's on your plate and what's left to, be finished. Okay. And you got to make it a goal to make sure that you finish it. You should not leave anything on the plate. No crumbs at all. Remember, that's the goal. No crumbs. Don't leave crumbs for nobody. I don't care. Not even for the cockroaches, not for the mice, for nobody. No crumbs. Like literally slate clean to the point where there is nothing left. There's nothing for no one to eat. That's the kind of mindset that you got to have going into this end of the year, because that's the mindset that I'm going for right now, so I can make sure that I finish what it was that, we started at the beginning of the year. Okay, so the first thing you got to do is you got to identify what's on your plate. Identify how much left you have to accomplish that goal. Okay, this is key. This is so key, because now you have something to work towards. Now you have something that you identified that you got to still finish, and now you got to go finish it. Now, I'm sure some of you guys are probably wondering, well, Nano, what if I still have a lot on my plate? What if I still have a full plate of food, and I've only taken a few bites of it? Well, guess what? It's time for you to work harder, because you got to find a way to break this down. You got to find a way on how you're going to eat this whole plate of food that's been given to you. And you got to find a way to make sure that you finish it by December 31st. How much you got to break this down. Okay, I got to eat a little bit this day, this day, this day, this day, this day, this day, this day. And for some of you, you can't afford a day off. I'll be honest with you guys. There were times throughout this journey in the last 5 years. Let me tell you guys something. My mom and I remember also the relationship I was in the past, and my little brother and my friends would get mad at me. This was when I was like my first year or two, my first like year or two, or maybe first 3 years in the business. Um, I was so obsessed. I was very, very obsessed. I was the type of person that on Christmas Day I was grinding. On Christmas Eve I was working. On Thanksgiving Day, like I was working until the dinner was ready type stuff. Like I was so hungry. I was so in love with the process of becoming the best version of myself, and of getting and getting out of my situation, that I said, bro, what am I celebrating? I don't have nothing to celebrate. Like, cool, yes, Thanksgiving. I'll have Thanksgiving dinner with my family, but bro, I was working through Thanksgiving. I was working through Christmas. I was working through Eve, because I was not yet where I wanted to be. Now, for some of you guys, you'll be like, Nano, that's a little bit extreme, because we got to spend time with our families, and that's family time, and that's sacred and all of that. But that was how I felt at the time. I was really, like I said, there's certain times where you hit a point in your life where you're sick and tired of being sick and tired. And guess what? At the end of the day, at that point, maybe I should have spent that time with family, and maybe I should have taken that time off. But at the time, I was just so hungry, and I was so dissatisfied with my results, that I didn't care to work on holidays. Holidays were just another day for me. I'm like, oh, cool, Thanksgiving, dope. I mean, it's like Thanksgiving every day in my house, because my mom is a chef and she cooks so good every day. So it's like, this is just another day where she just makes a little bit of extra food, and family comes over to celebrate. But I was grinding through that. For me, Christmas wasn't like it used to be. I don't know, when you get older, it almost feels like you get less gifts. Okay. um there's less gifts under the Christmas tree. It's not like we all wake up in the morning, and we all wake up and all the gifts are on the Christmas tree, and we open them up together and stuff like that. Like, I know there's these traditions, but it wasn't like that, as I got older. And I don't know if it's the same for you guys, but it wasn't like that for me as I got older. Okay, it felt like, especially the fact that my family was struggling. Like, let's be honest, I'm a grown ass man, so my mom wasn't buying me all these toy gifts that we used to get when we were young. Okay, my mom was buying me a sweater for Christmas. Grateful though, yo, grateful that my mom still buys me a sweater for Christmas. My dad, buys me a wallet or something like that. But it were small gifts. I wasn't, I would maybe have, I wouldn't even get gifts sometimes. The only people I would get gifts from My mom, my dad, my little brother wasn't working, so my little brother wouldn't give me any gifts, and maybe the relationship I was in at the time, maybe a gift from her, if that. So there were barely any gifts under the Christmas tree. And then I barely had any money to buy gifts for my mom and my dad or anybody in my family. So it was like my Christmases were very, very minuscule. They were very small. Okay. It was like very, very small. So for me, during those times, I would be like, that would be my motivation. Like I would use that, the fact that my Christmases were like that would be my motivation, because I was like, bro, like I want my Christmases to be abundant. I want us to have such a big Christmas tree and so many gifts under the tree that my family wakes up and we're unwrapping gifts for hours. But bro, it would only take us 15 minutes to unwrap the gifts, because there were what, maybe 5, 6 gifts under the Christmas tree. So that would be my motivation. That would be my motivation. I'm like, yo, this is going to be the last Christmas that this is like this. This is going to be the last Christmas that I can't give my mom, my dad, the people that I love, okay, the gifts that they truly deserve. That was the last Christmas. Yo, those things, okay, would literally push me so hard. You guys still have no idea. Like when I'm telling you guys, moments like those were the moments that helped me become the person that I am today. Those realizations when you're sitting there and I'm sitting on the couch and I'm looking at my Christmas tree, and I know that Christmas is a day or two ago, a day or two ahead from where I'm at. And I'm looking at it and I'm like, wow, bro, Nano, like, yo, there needs to be a change in your life. Like there has to be a change. You got to change. You got to be the one that changes this for your family. And I made those sacrifices for that reason. I made those sacrifices so I can make sure that now we have abundant Christmases. That now if I want to go get my mom and dad gifts, I can get my mom a gift. If I want to go get Katie a beautiful gift, I can go get Katie a beautiful gift. If I want to buy my goddaughters gifts, I can buy all of them gifts and be happy and be grateful that I have the abundance of money that God has given me to do that. Okay, but guess what? I worked my butt off the last few years so I can do that this year. A year ago, I mean, 2 years ago, I couldn't have done that. I didn't have the money, to splurge the way I can this year. I didn't have that. This year I can splurge if I want to. This year I can get my mom something, I could get my little brother something, I could get my dad something, I can get Katie something, I could get my goddaughter something. Man, I can even get some of my friends something if I wanted to. Right? But I couldn't do those things before. I couldn't. And those were the moments that would push me. Those were the moments that would put in my mind, yo, Nano, leave no crumbs behind. Every single day. You see, we're talking about leaving no crumbs behind for the year. Bro, I was leaving no crumbs behind for the day. For the day, I was leaving no crumbs behind. And still to this day, I have that same mindset. People still to this day come up to me and they're like, Nano, I don't understand how you have not stopped. All the odds have been stacked against you, and you still don't stop. You've had all the struggles that this business could possibly come to you with, and you still don't stop. And you still don't stop. You know why? Because I will never let somebody else eat my food. And that's going to lead to the second point. Okay. The second point is number 2, don't let anyone eat your food. And that is key. You see, you guys can excuse me if you guys can, but I'm from New York, right? And if you're from New York, you guys all know you do not let nobody eat your food, right? That's a thing out here. Do not let anyone eat your food. That's like a saying out here. Don't let nobody eat your food. But guess what? Guess what? If you are not looking at your plate, if you're going to leave that food there, somebody's going to come take it from you. Trust me, Nano has taken a lot of people's food respectfully and humbly. Not in a like I took someone's food literally, but yo, I've eaten a lot of people's foods respectfully though. Because a lot of people slack off And guess what people do sometimes? People, they say, you know what, man, this is too much for me. I don't want to eat all of this. They get up and leave. So guess who comes around? Nano, you don't want that? I'll take that. You don't want that? I'll take that. You don't want that? I'll take that. Give me. I like that. Give it to me because I'll eat it. There's people that are waiting for you to slip up to eat your food. No, but what do you mean by don't let someone else eat your food? Don't let somebody take your spot. Don't let somebody take your spot. Don't let somebody outwork you. I don't let people outwork me. You can ask anyone on my team. I don't let people outwork me. Okay. You can ask Katie how I am. She tells me all the time she likes it, but she also doesn't like it because she tells me I'm way too competitive. I always want to win. I'm just like that. It's just something in me that is like, yo, no matter what it takes, I will not allow anybody to eat my food. I will not allow anybody to come into my dinner table and take what I have. I protect what I have. Because with this food, with this is what my family is going to eat with. This is how I'm going to be able to feed my family. This is how we pay the bills here. This is how I'm going to be able to create generational wealth for my god kids and my family to come. So why would I let somebody take my spot? Why would I let somebody trick me out of my spot? Why would I allow you to outwork me? You want to work 10 hours, I'm going to work 11 hours. You're going to read a book a month, I'm going to read 2 books a month. You're going to wake up at 7 a.m., I'm going to wake up at 6 a.m. You're going to listen to an hour of audios, I'm going to listen to 2 hours of audios. I've had that mindset since I was a baseball player. Since I was a baseball player. This was installed in me since I was in high school. Since I was in high school, I would think like this. I would always look for who was the best. Okay, who's the best? Coach, point out who's the best pitcher here. I actually just went to my brother's wedding. His name was Jeets. Corey Jeets, when I arrived in school, he was the number one pitcher. Relationship because of it, because of how much we pushed each other. And if he was on this call, he would tell you guys, but we built that relationship since then. You know, he comes from an Italian family, big dude. You know, he had been in the school for 4 years. He was the big dog there. You know, he was the number one pitcher in the school. And when I got there, I said, Coach, can you point out who the best pitcher on the team is, please? Who's going to be the ace? Who's going to be the guy this year? Can you please let me know? He said, it's going to be that guy over there. Big guy, big Italian guy. That's going to be the number one pitcher. He was like, why you ask? I'm like, is because I take his spot. He was like, really? You really get spot? That's your goal. Oh, it says it's lagging. Let me see. Hold up. Let me see something. Give me 1 second. All right, I'm back. Sorry about that. I think it's because they were calling the phone and it kept messing up the thing. Can you guys hear me good now? You're lagging on YouTube. I don't know why. Okay, dope. So to continue the story really quick, so we can move on to the next topic. So I had this big dude that I had to, work through, right? And what I did was, and I think I've told this story a few times, when I found out who the best was, I had to make it a goal to outwork that individual. All right. Like I literally made it a goal that whatever that person did, I was going to do more. And I realized that my life changed because it showed me how to really work when that happened. So, for example, remember, I identified who the best was. I'm like, okay, he's the best. Okay, great. So once I identified who was the best, I said, whatever that person does, I'm going to do better. Okay. So if he woke up at 7 a.m., I was up at 6 a.m. When we would go to the gym, if he did 10 reps, I did 12 reps. If he did 10 sprints, I did 12 sprints. Whatever he did, I always did more. He worked out for an hour, I would stay an extra 30 minutes after the gym so I can work out an hour and a half. Whatever the guy who I was competing against did, I always did more. Don't let somebody like Nano eat your food, because guess what? He always says it. He's like, yo, Nano, you know why I respect you, bro? Because you told me you was gonna eat my food and you ate my food. You're the only person in my life that has ever told me that they're gonna take my spot and has taken it. I was invited to his wedding. I met his family, I met his wife. We talk all the time, still to this day. One of my closest friends in life. As a matter of fact, he was going to get me a six-figure job once I graduated from college because I had no job offers. He was going to give me a six-figure job working for the union, doing setting up movie sets and everything. That's how real it is. But don't let somebody like me come in your life and take your food, because bro, I'm telling you, I promise you, there's people out there like me that will eat your food. And I say it humbly and respectfully. I don't say it in a disrespectful manner. I'm not trying to scare you guys. I'm not trying to change you guys' perception on me. But yo, I will outwork anybody because I'm hungry. I'm hungry for success. I'm hungry to change my situation. And you have to have that. You have to have that mindset, though. This is the mindset you gotta have if you want to make it here. It's like, yo, I'm gonna go and get everything that's mine. Because if you catch somebody like me, I'll take your food and you won't even realize it. Trust me, I've done it to so many people because I catch a lot of people slipping. A lot of people in the last 5 years, man, woof. But that mindset that I have is what has gotten me here. For example, when I joined this company, when I joined this business, I realized nobody liked to do personal development. When I started actually learning about personal development, yo, everybody's focused on trading. Everybody's focused on crypto, on investing, but nobody's focused on self-development. I was like, this is where I'm going to get them. But that's the competitiveness inside of me, though. You see that? The competitiveness inside of me said, everybody here is focused on money. Everybody here is focused on this, that. But guess what? Look at what happens now. I said, they're not focused on this. This is what I'm. When money's going to come. Where can I set myself apart? The competitive edge, Justin. How do I set myself apart from everybody else? What is going to be that thing? And this is why Mornings with Nano has become a thing. This is why personal development has become cool now. It's because I took what everybody else was weak at and I made it my strength. I dedicated my life to personal development. There's a difference. This is what I want you all to understand. I want you guys to think like this. If you start to think like this, your life can change. If you start to think like this, your life can change. But until then, it's going to be hard for you to make it in this business and just life in general. in life in general. You gotta have that mindset. You gotta have that savage mentality, like, yo, whatever it takes mindset. Because, yo, there's people that are hungry out there. And you gotta understand, you're not the only one doing this business. You're not the only one doing the business that you're in, whether you're doing network marketing, whether you're doing real estate, whether you're doing credit, whether you're in school, wherever it is, there you have a competitor out there that is outworking you right now. There is somebody that stayed up later than you. There's somebody that woke up earlier than you. There's somebody that's reading more than you, listening to more audios than you. And guess what? They're also going through things too. You think that you're the only one that's going through things? No. Everybody's going through things. Remember, it's not about what happens that determines your future. It's what you do about what happened, what you've worked for your whole entire life. Man, and I'm sorry if it's cutting out, guys, because this usually does not happen. I feel like YouTube just has its days where it's good, it goes good for like a month, and then there's like one of those 2 days out of the month where it just kind of messes up. And I'm so sorry about that, because I'm telling you, it's not my Wi-Fi. My Wi-Fi is solid. Nobody's at my house. Nobody is using it. Everything is solid. My Instagram is solid right now, and it's connected to my Wi-Fi as well. Okay, so I know that we're good. I think it's just something on YouTube. I think it's just the sauce. They don't want you guys to hear it right now. Yeah, but YouTube sometimes has its days. Okay, but number 3 is have a plan. Have a plan on how you're gonna finish what's on your plate. Have a plan on, you know, how you're gonna protect what it is that you've built up until this day. Have a plan for it. I think they're updating it now when I reopen the app, introducing new features. Yeah, I think they are updating it. That may be what it is. They're updating YouTube right now, guys. So I apologize about that. So have a plan. How much are you going to eat per day? How much are you going to eat per day? And for some of you, due to the fact that you slacked off so much this year, that you're going to have to include holidays on this. This may be one of those years. This may be one of those years where you may have to work on the holidays this year because you slacked off so much. You took so many days off this year. Okay. You took so many days off this year that now you're not going to be able to enjoy the holidays. That's how it works. That's the price you pay for all those days you slept in, you didn't do your morning routine and all of that. You don't deserve no holidays off. You were chilling, you were sleeping in. You don't deserve no days off. You don't deserve that. Get to work. Get to work. Make sure you complete what you started because now you don't have that. Right? It's like when you leave a project for last minute. You ever leave a project for last minute and you got to finish it no matter what in a certain amount of days? And you're like, damn, man, you're going to have to miss going out with your friends. You're going to have to miss the party. You're going to have to eat all of that because guess what? You left it off for last minute. You left it for last minute, and now you got to finish a project that takes somebody, weeks to finish. Now you got to finish it in 3 days, 4 days. That used to be my problem, a lot of people saying. Well, that's probably a lot of you guys' problems now as well. Because how you do one thing is how you do everything. I used to be a huge procrastinator. I no longer live there though. But there's a pretty good chance that if you were like that in school, you're probably like that now in business. So you got to have a plan on how you're going to finish this. Luckily, I'm giving you guys a heads up 6 weeks in advance. Let me see if it's 6 weeks in advance that we actually have. Let me see. We have a week left. We have this week, next week. Let me see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. 5.5, 6 weeks. That's what we have left. 40 days. This is what it's about right here, fam. This is what it's about. Have a plan. Okay, what are you going to do today? What are you going to do this week? What are you going to do next week? What are you going to do to start December? What are you going to do mid-December? How are you going to work through Christmas and Christmas Eve? Remember, Christmas is only basically 2 days in a way. How can you find a way that even though you're going to be spending time with family, to find a way to still put some work in? Whether it's an hour in the morning, an hour or 2 hours, you still got to do something. And then you still have 26, 27, 28, 29, 30th. Even the 31st, you got to work. Man, we were working on January 1st. Honestly, for me, these holidays, for me, they barely exist in my mind, to be real with you guys. They barely exist in my mind. Barely. And luckily for us, the holidays land in the weekends this year. So Christmas lands on a Saturday and New Year's lands on a Saturday. But those are days for me to just continue to work on myself. So have a plan on how you're going to make sure that you finish everything that you started. And that leads to the last point that I'm going to cover here for today is number 4. Finish what you started. Let this be a reminder. Let this call be a reminder, because that's what, when I listen to that training, I'm like, yo, he is so right. I got to identify what's on my plate. I can't let nobody eat this food. I got to have a plan on how I'm going to finish it. And then I got to finish what I started. That's number 4. Finish what you started. You started this at some point this year. Let's finish it now. Wait, I'm sorry. I missed it somehow. What was number 3? So just to run it back up from the top, number 1, how to leave no crumbs behind. Number 1 is you must first identify what's on your plate. That's number 1. Number 2, don't let anyone eat your food. Number 3, have a plan on how you're going to finish. And then number 4 is finish what you started. Finish what you started, guys. Finish. Let's finish what we started. We must finish what we started. Look, guys, I still have a lot of work to do. I've done multiple tours this year. I've traveled to multiple different cities and countries. But there's still so many leaders I got to develop. There's still money I have to make. There's still books I got to finish reading, journals I got to finish writing in, courses that I haven't finished. There's a lot of stuff that I still got to do. There's still a lot of stuff that Nano has to do. Think about that. I still got books I got to finish. I got courses I got to finish. I got businesses I have to still set up. I'm preparing for 2023, guys. It's a preparation. All of this is preparation. And like I told you guys, 2023, 2024 are going to be the biggest years of our lives. But all of these next 6 weeks are preparation for that. And we got to prepare for that. And that's the key. Okay, so how to leave no crumbs behind. Number 1, identify what's on your plate. Number 2, don't let anyone eat your food. Number 3, have a plan. That's very important. Number 3 is very important. Have a plan. What are you going to do every day? What are you going to have done this week? What are you going to finish by next week? What are you going to finish the week after that? What are you going to finish by December 31st? When are you going to do your first event? What are you going to do? Have a plan. Sit down and actually create a game plan. Okay. For me, my game plan is already set out. I already finished the year strong. Now, the next thing I'm planning, about to plan my whole year of 2023 in advance. You know why? Because I saw all my millionaire mentors. And you know what's funny? All my millionaire mentors, they already have the year of 2023 already planned. I'm like, bro, 2023 hasn't even started. He told me, bro, when you become a millionaire and you make 7 figures, your years are planned in advance the year before. So think about that. It's 2022 November, and they already have 2023 planned out. Think about how crazy that is. Imagine that. They're already thinking about 2024. They already have 2023 planned out. They're thinking 2024. And we're not even done with 22 and they're already thinking 2024. Some of us don't even know what we're gonna do for Christmas, or we don't even know what's going on in January. These people are already thinking 2024 January, not even 2023 January. They're thinking 2024 January. That just tells you guys the difference between us and them. How come they're so successful and we're not? That's the key that we must all understand. Once you get that, that'll change everything for all of you. I guarantee you that. If you get to understand that, it'll make all the difference, fam. We got to start thinking ahead. How do we get ahead of the competition? You think that they're letting anybody eat their food? No, they have the whole year already of 2023 planned out. Now, I'm sure you guys are probably wondering, well, Nano, I don't have it. That's why you got to get to that. That's why you got to get to that plan. How do you plan the next year ahead? Man, look, be honest with you, Steven, that's something I'm working on. I only have my first 6 months planned, if I'm honest with you. I have my from January to like about July planned for the most part. I haven't planned out the whole year though yet. But I have from January to June already planned. I have the first 6 months planned. And I feel like that's a step in advance, because before I would have no plan going into the year. But now I know what I'm doing in January. I know what I'm doing in February. I know what I'm doing in March, April, May, June, and a little bit of and early July. So I know what my first 6 to 7 months looks like. I still don't have anything going on. I still don't have anything planned from July and on for the most part. But it feels good to know that I have, 6 months in advance planned out. Can you do a training on yearly planning? Yeah, I can. We would have to do it on Zoom though, so I can bring up my calendar on how we do that. But that right there wraps up today's call, guys. I hope you guys got a lot of value from today's call. If you got value from the 4 points we covered today, put a 4 in the chat box. Put a 4 in the chat box if you got value from this. Okay. This is very, very valuable. I hope that you guys all got value from this. I'm very grateful and blessed to have all of you guys on these calls. And just make sure that, we prepare ourselves. I want to prepare you guys for the future. I want to make sure that you guys understand the importance of getting yourself to another level and thinking like a millionaire. Okay. That's where I'm headed next. That's my next step in life. That's 2023 for me. 2023 will be my 7-figure year. Okay. So what I teach you guys is I'm teaching you guys how to become a 7-figure version of yourself. I'm already applying these things to my life now. I'm already a 7-figure earner spiritually. I'm just waiting for it to show up physically now. But spiritually, I'm already 7 figures. When I close my eyes, I see 7 figures. This is who I am. I am a 7-figure earner. I embrace this. And this is how you got to live. I want you guys to live the same way. Live like this. Yo, I am a 6-figure earner. Live in it, right? Remember, you are only going to receive what you already are. Don't let that go over your head. That could be the whole training right there. You will only receive what you already are. The reason why I'm going to receive being a millionaire, the millions, is because I'm already a millionaire. I hope that doesn't go over your head, fam. But with that being said, we wrapped up today's call. Super blessed and grateful. I hope you guys got a lot of value from today's call. If you guys have not followed me on Instagram, follow me on Instagram. Also, one of the things I'm going to be doing this year, if you guys don't know, anybody here from ATL? Is anybody here from Atlanta? Okay, anybody here from Atlanta? Do we have any ATL family on Mornings with Nano? Anybody in ATL? Well, let me tell you guys. So you guys know, so my sister and my sister Chastity, I don't know if you guys remember who she is. She did a Mornings with Nano call not too long ago. But we actually are going to be running an influencer event in Atlanta, February 2nd and February 3rd. Okay. and it's going to be called the Influencer Experience. Now, it's not going to be an event for I am. This is not an event for my company. This is an event open to everybody. Okay, and this event is going to be an influencer experience where we're going to be choosing the top influencers, in the world. Okay, we're looking to get the best of the best influencers from TikTok, from Instagram, from all the top social media platforms, and we're going to get about 7 8 influencers that are going to come out to Atlanta and speak to our leaders and to our customers and to our people about the power of becoming an influencer in 2023. Okay, there's going to be meet and greets, there's going to be sections, you guys are going to be able to meet me as well, and that is going to be game changing. You're going to be able to learn from the top influencers in the world. It's going to be in Atlanta. That's the good thing about it, because it's in a good international airport that anybody can fly in. Flights are cheap from, upper here, northeast, whether you're living up in New York, Jersey, Philadelphia. Flights to ATL are cheap. If you're down in Florida, if you're in Texas, if you're on the West Coast, anything going into Atlanta is very valuable. Okay. So if you guys want to help me, I know Iman, I'm glad that you said that. She said, I know a viral TikTok manager. Connect me with them. If there's any specific influencers that you guys would like to learn from, that you guys are like, yo, Nano, you need to get this person to that event, let me know about them, because we still have, some spots available. I think we still have about 5 speakers available to invite. Okay, we already have some really, really good ones that, already confirmed, but we are about to get some bigger ones to come. And this event is going to be February 2nd and 3rd. Let me confirm with you guys 100% what's the exact date. Yeah, it's going to be February 3rd. February 3rd, February 4th. Okay? Make sure that you guys understand this. So just so you guys know, tonight, so you guys can get all the information tonight at 9 p.m. Eastern time, me and Chastity are going to be doing the call to give all the details, to give all the stuff on, how it is that it works. So we're going to be giving all the information, and we're also going to be doing ticket giveaways as well. Okay, so tonight at 9 p.m., I'll be sharing the link. I'll be dropping it in my Nanos Keys to Success chat, and we're probably gonna go Instagram live as well. And I'll also put the link in my story so you guys can join. That is gonna be tonight at 9 p.m. If you guys want more information on that event and how you can be part of the influencer experience, it's gonna be next level. All right, fam. So that's what's gonna be going on tonight at 9 p.m. Do not miss it. Okay, so if you haven't followed me on Instagram, this is my Instagram, Long Live Nano and Mornings with Nano. Okay, those are my 2 Instagrams right there. Super blessed, super grateful. I give all the thanks to Jasmine for all the great work that she's been doing with the Mornings with Nano page. Both of us really kill it with that. She's doing an amazing job, so I'm grateful for her. She's phenomenal, one of a kind person, and I'm forever grateful for her. And then if you haven't got your Mornings with Nano journal, remember this is a great journal for you guys to get, for Christmas. Maybe give it as a gift to somebody that needs it. And, it's a great Christmas gift, less than $25. People love Nano. People love the calls. Great Christmas gifts for anybody who wants it. So that's the link for the journal. And I'm going to do a quick prayer, and then we're going to get out of here, fam. So thank you guys so much. Quick prayer, and we go. Father God, thank you so much for blessing us with this beautiful day that we get a chance to grow and we get a chance to elevate. Every day we jump on these calls, and we just grow as a family. We grow as a community, and we couldn't have asked for a better community than this one, God, because honestly, a community that's built with you in the center is the strongest community that anyone can ask for. We are growing stronger every day. We are growing wiser every day, and we are becoming better every day. And it's so beautiful to see the amount of people that are elevating to new levels and having the realizations that they are having. Father, I pray that you continue to guide us and that you continue to protect us and keep us healthy during these times. And that anybody that is going through any tough times, any difficult times right now, Father, that that you give them light, and that you put your healing hand over them, and you heal them of any of the traumas and the difficulties that they're going through, because we do understand that life is hard, but life is only hard when we allow it to be hard. And there are lessons in the journeys that we must learn, and we understand that. So we want you to know that we are thankful for the challenges, we are thankful for the obstacles that are put in our lives, because we know that you only give your toughest battles to your toughest warriors, and we are your toughest warriors, and we are ready to go through anything that life throws at us, because we are ready to open up the gates of heaven and allow everybody in, Father. So we thank you so much for all that you continue to do for us. Thank you for the guidance, the wisdom, and just the protection that you do for us. There's no better leader in this world than you, Father, and we are following you to the very end, God. So thank you so much. Let's have a productive day filled with love and abundance. And in Jesus' name we pray. Amen. 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 Let's go. So if I'm going to see you guys tonight at 9 p.m. on the influencer call, can I get a 9 in the chat box if I can count on you to be there at 9 o'clock tonight? If you will be available to see this event is going to be hosted by me and my sister Chastity. So I'm actually hosting this event with my sister Chastity. It's going to be a super dope event, and you guys are going to be able to learn so much from so many different, influencers and people out there. So I'm going to make sure that you guys get that. Let me see if I can actually drop the link here for my Nanos Keys to Success chat. Here it goes. If you guys are not in it, this is it. Yes, I can. I don't know if you guys can. Let me know if you guys can click on this link. Let me know if you can click on that link that I just dropped right there and join it. That's the link. Awesome. That's my link right there, fam. To my chat. What time does the event start? February 3rd. Roxy, I don't know all the exact details. Tonight, I'll find out everything. I know it's going to be a whole day event, though. It's going to be a whole day event. So I'm pretty sure it's going to start early. It's going to start early, but we fly in the day before. There's a meet and greet the day before, and I think the event is on February 3rd, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, yeah, so we'll arrive the day before. It's gonna be ATL, probably downtown ATL. It'll probably be in the city somewhere. But if you guys want to get all the exact information, jump on the call tonight. I'm actually, I have a little bit of the information, but Chastity was the one that she's kind of like involved. She's more involved in that side of things. I'm more of the, the host and and getting the speakers and all of the other stuff. We both have roles. So today is super dope. But I am grateful. All right, fam. So I appreciate you guys, and I'll see you guys tomorrow for another episode of Mornings with Nano. God bless. Let's run. Thank you, guys.